Notification volume 0%.
Good afternoon. I am Blind Prime, and this is, well, Blindviews. For lack of a better name, I may come up with something later for it. But basically, this is going to be the show where I review things, and Blindformers would be the show where I transform things. And that way, we cut down on the time of Blindformers and allow watchers of that series to just get right to the transformation. I'll still be discussing height and length and width and stuff in those videos, but for these will discuss things like siege ports and how I feel about the figure, maybe some backstory on it. So to begin off, I decided, since we're in the middle of the Transformers Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Devastator series that we're currently doing on transformations, we will work with those first, because I do have a lot of feelings about them and I want to kind of work on them or do the reviews while I have those still readily accessible before I make him into Devastator and set him on a shelf for a while. Anyway, let's talk about Rampage here. Now, Rampage, first off, it's just there's so much with this guy. He requires a stand to even stand. I never before have I had a transformer that requires a stand to stand. The whole idea of a Pogo Bot transformer is simply just, it's, words cannot describe the amount of what I have about this. Just why? Why does there ever need to be a Pogo Bot? Why did the treads of his freaking bulldozer mode, why does his treads have to do like this? Why do they go up? And I get the whole whip thing, but seriously, where are his elbows? Where the hell are his elbows? They're not here. He doesn't have elbows. He doesn't have knees. He's got one pogo thingy. It's just this action. If this guy did not become a leg for something else, I would never have purchased it. I dislike this thing so much. Let's look at the back of it. Look at this huge freaking piece here. This bulldozer blade. Like, wow, the texture on it is amazing. I love all this texture. It's cool. I could feel it, and it feels like a bulldozer blade. Yep, that's a bulldozer blade. But you know what the bulldozer blade can't do? Anything. It just sits there, and it has a big knobby thing in the middle. Like, oh, so you can move the caster wheel up and down. Instead of just putting 2 extra caster wheels on the treads, since the treads don't have any elbows, no, you just move this stupid clickety button. And it mars the entire look of the blade. It's just sitting here in the middle of the blade. Why are you going to have such a nice looking blade whenever you're going to mar it with such a crappy clickety thing? A clickety switch. You're going to mess it up with a clickety switch. And then there's this head, like Michael Bay, or whoever in the world your designers are, really, what is in their imaginations? Because this head, I have no idea. I don't know if it's right on there. Like, the head fell off one day, I put it back on, but I'm never sure if it's right or not, because this head just feels like a mess. I bet with the painting you could totally, like, oh, that's an eye, and oh, that's obviously the mouthpiece. But without any sense of it, I'm gonna say that this upside down feeling thing, this upside down V feeling thing, must be the bottom of his mouth. And that means that all this weird crusty stuff up on top is his hair. And then that brings in the question of, well, if he has hair, why does he have hair? And is it hair, or is it just like wires and stuff to connect to the rest of the transformer? So many questions on this. So many questions. For this Voyager class figure that's not even to scale with the other ones. Him and Mixmaster both break the scale. All the other Constructicons, even Long Haul, are basically in the same scale. You can tell by the way that the windows work and stuff, and the little rearview mirror on the side of the windows. That's how I've been figuring it out. every one of these has a rearview mirror on the side of the window. You know who doesn't? Why, this little guy right here, this little bastard. He doesn't have any rearview mirrors on the side of him at all. He just has this cockpit here that's on his back, and you can't tell anything about it sizing wise. But judging by the blade and how big it is, and how big the treads are, and how big the wheel feeling things inside the treads are, this guy is not the same size scale as everybody else. He's more reference to the chug size scale. Like, he's more at home with my deluxe figures. But let's see if we can find a good deluxe figure. Let's see. What do we have here? Aha! Here we go. Here's a good deluxe figure right here. Let's see. Ah! I knew there was one in here. Ah! One of the Dachshund molds was hiding in here. What's up, little dude? So, look at this. Alright? Judging by his windows and his sizing, he compares very well with this guy. Thank you. I didn't tell you to stop. Now, he compares well with this dude in the sizing bits. So this works. This works with the comparison with him. But with the other Constructicons, which they're all in the other room because I've been practicing with my Devastator, they don't have that. Mixmaster's the only one that shares a similar rear view mirror size to the regular deluxe size scale figures. The rest of the Constructicons, if you look at their mirrors and their windows, they're more on the same line as a Legends scale. And then when you consider that, you realize that the Legends scale Devastator, that's basically a Legends scale Devastator. That Devastator fits into the Legends scale line. This entire Devastator is going to fit there in the Legends scale line. He's going to be huge, he's going to be massive, but judging by the windows and the rearview mirrors, he's going to be the people that would drive those vehicles would be the same size as the people that would drive my Legend scale Optimus Prime. These are just thoughts I'm having on the entire Devastator series, but I'll tell you one thing more. This guy ruins it because he's the wrong scale. His windows, they could have made a larger bulldozer, or, in the process, they could have given us a bulldozer whose bulldozer blade moves up and down, like in Combiner Wars. Combiner Wars wasn't that long ago. What did they do? They took the guy from Combiner Wars and they went, well, haha, we're not going to give him elbows still, even though everyone cries for the elbows, but we'll give him cool whiplashy treads. Oh, and just for a joke, we'll take away the moving blade. Yeah, we'll take away the moving blade because nobody enjoyed having an articulated blade on their bulldozer. Nobody wanted to do scenes with the blade halfway picking up or slamming down on Autobots. Yeah, because that never happens. And then, I know, instead of having 2 separate knees and 2 legs, we'll just cut on our prices and make this Pogo Bot. We'll just make a Pogo Bot. And we'll just throw in a little stand. So he comes with no accessories except the one accessory that he needs in order to stand upright. And if you lose it, well, you're screwed. Unless you can find some other kind of weapon or build your entire little combat armor system around holding up a Devastator leg. Or better yet, just transform him into Devastator's leg and have him fighting your Legends class Optimus Prime, your Core class Optimus Prime on the shelf. Starscream helping out. Maybe get Omega Supreme involved with his giant self. But for the love of God, don't just have this damn Pogo Bot sitting on your shelf because it's stupid and it's dumb. And it's just, there's no articulation. What is this figure? He's hard. I just like him. Completely. Enough said. Blind Prime out.